Hey everybody, uh, I'm Jesse, and this is not exactly live coding with Jesse because I'm not on the Free Code Camp channel, but I'm going to be doing some streams on my channel for a little while, and before I switch back to the Free Code Camp channel. So, last time I streamed, there was some technical difficulties, so let me know if anything's weird with the stream so I can get those sorted out quickly. Today, we're going to look at using React Native Web in a browser to do an in-browser React Native editor. This will hopefully eventually be integrated into the Free Code Camp lessons so that Free Code Camp will be able to have React Native lessons that you can do in browser and not have to download anything on your machine. So we started this on the Free Code Camp channel, so if you want to learn more about what we're trying to do and why we're doing it, you can check out some of my videos on there. But we had issues with getting Free Code Camp to run locally, so we were trying to get the whole repo for the Free Code Camp lessons running. And the particular branch that had the React Native stuff on it had a different setup than the main branch. So it didn't go very well. Someone from Free Code Camp did reach out to me and offer to help with that. So I think I'm going to get in touch with them and try to organize something to get that working. But I was thinking about it and I realized, we don't really need to get all of Free Code Camp working, right? The goal is simply to get an in-browser React Native editor working and then put it in a Free Code Camp. So the first step really would be just to get this working. So that's what we're going to go with. We're not going to worry about getting all of the Free Code Camp stuff working locally. We're just going to do like a test project, like a proof of concept, right? Hey. And we got a guest on the show. This is Ambrose. And let's see. So let's open up GitHub first. And we'll find the repo. Whoa, signed out of GitHub. Wow. Okay. There we go. Gotta authenticate.
Keys.
3, 7, 4. Oops. I got a new keyboard. It's a little bit more clicky than my last one, so I'm sorry if that annoys anybody, but the mechanical keyboards are really cool. This is the first one that I ever used, so it's pretty nice. Let's see. I don't remember what this repo is called, but I definitely have. I don't know if I've forked it yet or I just started. So let's look at my stars and see if we can find it. Alright. I did not see it. It should have been. Definitely should have been on this list, I believe, though. Hey, Code Coder, how's it going? Thanks for watching. Hmm. Wow, that's wild. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't start. Um, it's possible that I forked it and forgot. So let's check that out. Alright, so this is when I forked Free Code Camp. So if I did fork the other thing, it should be around the same time. Hmm. Alright, well, that's crazy. So let's just do a good old Google search and see. Uh, let's see. So I just did a search for React Native in browser editor. Now there is this snack from Expo, which is awesome, but it's not going to fit our needs exactly. And let's see, React Native web player. Maybe it was this one. All right, let's check this one out. Hmm. If I look at the package JSON, I should be able to tell if this is the one. Yep, this is it. This is, I believe, the one. If it's not the one that I was looking at, this one will work. All right, so I'm gonna make the text a little bigger just in case you can't see. Also, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll definitely answer questions. This is going to be more of a laid-back coding session since we're still kind of in the exploratory phase. So we need to see how this works before we can implement it. So I mean, this is like an open source project that does kind of what we want to do. So we're going to use this as a guide to like how to approach this project. So feel free to answer questions. I'm not going to do my normal Pomodoro sessions. If I see a question come up, I'll just answer it. If there get to be way too many questions, then maybe I'll organize it a little bit better. But for now, I think we can handle it. All right, so we have this Babel worker JS. Okay, and this is really like the key, I believe, to this project. So the problem when you're trying to do React Native in the browser is that React Native by default doesn't run in the browser, right? You're not using DOM elements like you would in normal React. You're using these React Native primitives, right, which need to be turned into something to run. So the usual use case is that it gets turned into code that can run on iOS or Android. Right? But React Native Web allows you to turn that into code that can run on the browser. Now, this is awesome, so that's definitely the right way to go. That's what we want to do. But normally you're running this locally on your machine, right? So the code can get transpiled like on your machine, right? We don't have a machine. Everything's running client side in the Free Code Camp lessons. So what we need to do is create a client side, like browser side environment where all that transpilation can occur in real time in the browser. So that's where this stuff comes in, right? So service workers are a way to do coding stuff in the browser, but kind of like off the main thread, if that makes sense. So, what's up, buddy?
There's a button in this.
Yeah, that button turns the volume up and down.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So let's check out what's happening here in this file, and see if we can figure out how to apply it. I mean, it's possible we might be able to just use the file pretty much as is. So we're getting an event, right? This is data. So this is the code is being input. So the code that the user is putting into the browser, right, is coming in here, and we're transforming it, right? We're using Babel, right, to transpile that. And what it should output is that same, well, the transpiled version of the code, right? So it's not like a super complicated idea, but it's definitely different than how we normally do this. So let's check out some of the other files here. Alright, so this is the UI, like the base UI. Okay, so probably not a whole lot we need in there. Let's check out our
There's a really thing to it.
our index. Okay, so there's definitely some stuff going on here. We're passing in to the workspace these files. So hey, buddy. Hey, Code Coder said your son is awesome. So they said you're awesome.
Okay.
He said thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So it looks like this file is going to be something to watch out for. And right now, I'm just trying to pick out the pieces that are going to be things that we'll need to come back to. And let's see. Check out these utils. There we go. So, all right, here's all the plugins, the Babel plugins. So this is going to be something we're probably going to need to keep. Hermes hashing, networking. Okay, this is just vendor prefixes, roller browsers, which may be useful, but not going to worry about that right now. Fashions in the portfolio. Okay, so this might just be like a polyfill for fetch. I'm not going to worry about that. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what browsers FreeCodeCamp attempts to support, so we may or may not need this stuff. Let's see.
Like this echo button.
Alright. So a few things in utils. Alright, I'm not going to go through all the Webpack config stuff. Check out the
Mommy?
components. Yeah, you want to go see your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah? No? You want to hang out here? Alright. Okay. Looks like workspace.js is maybe like the root component here. So let's see what they're doing. Okay. So here's where they're pulling in that Babel worker. Okay. All right. So the worker is listening for events. For this message. What are you doing, buddy? Okay. Keys for each one. All right. So this is where we're actually sending the data and receiving it.
I'm down here looking at Daddy working. Here, Dada.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my wife she did her morning workout and she brought me back iced matcha latte.
Did you bring me back anything?
Which I'm a big fan of matcha, so thank you.
The butt and a bee.
And my wife's a coder too. You want to say hi?
Down.
No, you don't want to say hi? She just got back from her workout. She doesn't want to be on camera. You could say hi and they'll hear it.
Hi.
All right.
Come upstairs with me.
Go ahead up, okay? You did a good job. All right. I'll see you in a little bit. Hey, Cordelia. I'll see you in a little bit. Smile. So my kids are starting to wake up. That's why I stream so early because the kids are still asleep. So definitely less noise. All right. This file, I believe, is going to be the most important file. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. And I'm not going to try to understand every bit of it before I use it, right? I'm just going to say, like, this is the file where everything's happening. So let's take this file and then I say we do like a very simple project as a test where we try to take this file, move the bare minimum of dependencies with it, and get it running in a different UI. So like the problem is, so obviously like this already comes, like it works as is, right? But it comes with its own UI, right? So we don't want this UI, we want the free code camp UI. So we want to get it all working, but just have it look like free code camp. And so there's, I think really two ways to go at it is one, take this entire thing as is and edit the styles to make it look like free code camp, or take this, strip it down to just the functionality that converts this code and displays it, and then fit that into the existing UI. I think the better way to go is the second way, because the free code camp project is it's established, it's huge. So I think it makes more sense to take this smaller project and fit it into the larger one, right? I'm open to other ideas. If you have any other ideas, let me know. But and I think overall, it would be kind of useful to just basically like bring this down to its core and come out with basically something where you could say like, I'm gonna give it this code. It's gonna return to me stuff that I can display, and then I can do whatever I want with it, right? So it doesn't have to be in this format. I mean, this is nice. I mean, I'd do it in a dark mode, obviously, because I love dark mode. But actually, maybe I'll do a PR for a dark mode on this. I don't know if it's wanted or not, but it would make me happy. All right. Code Coder asks, is morning time there? Yeah, it's morning. So I started the stream at 7 in the morning, where I'm at. So it's kind of early. Kind of early. I was up at 5 this morning, which is slightly earlier than I normally wake up, but still pretty early. All right. So let's open up our code editor then. Okay, Code Coder's in India. What time is it in India right now? Oh, okay, so evening. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so I'm using VS Code, and it looks like by default my Battle Math game was open. So let's make a new project. So I should be in. I guess I didn't do this project in my projects folder. Do I have a projects folder? Yeah, I do. Okay. See what I have. Alright, so let's say this is going to be. I guess we could do two things. I guess we could fork this project and clone it. We can get through the files and stuff quicker than clicking around on GitHub. So that's probably a good first step. We'll clone that repo that we've been looking at, fork it and then clone it, and then we can pull out the files into. We'll probably just use create React app and do something really basic at first, just to get it see what the minimum is that we need to get this running. I will update later. Okay. So let's go back to GitHub. Alright. Let's go back to GitHub and fork this. So if you're not familiar with how GitHub works or how Git works, Git is a way to kind of save your code at a bunch of different points along the way in your process of development. And then you have a record of what you've done, and you can go back to any point if you need to. Hey, Michael Creel is here. What's up? Thanks for joining us. So on GitHub is a place where people store their Git repositories, which is basically the entire record of all the changes made in all your code. And you can fork a repository, meaning you take that repository, you make a copy of it that now lives in your GitHub account. It is now separate from the initial repo, so you can make changes without messing with somebody else's repository, right? So once you fork it, if you want to get it down to your local machine, right? So now you can see this is under my account, React Native Web Player, but it always tells me where I got it from originally, which is nice. And to get it on our machine, we want to clone it. So I'm going to copy this URL. Let's go back to our editor and let's say git clone, and then I'm gonna paste that in. Now it's copying everything, and we should be able to go in now. CD, what's this called? React Native Web Player. You see we have all these files here. So I'm going to open this in a new window. There we go. And let's open that up. Restart later. Alright, now you can see we have these files. So there's that Babel worker. There's everything. Now once we have this open, right, there's a lot of dependencies, right? So we can see this package JSON and see, right, there's all this stuff in this file, right, that we need to have to get this project to run. Okay, and this file is really important because now that I just have all the stuff here, all the code and everything, all I have to do is type in, let's see if this uses yarn. Yeah, this project using yarn. So I just type in yarn, and it's going to grab everything I need to run this project and install it for me. So once that runs, we should be able to type in start. Yeah, it looks like start. We'll get everything running. So we do start, and then we can have a local version of this running that we can do whatever we want to. I should say this account, I didn't mention this account, but I want to give a shout out to the person who did this. So this is Devin Abbott. Okay, so shout out to Devin Abbott. I don't know Devin Abbott, but shout out to Devin Abbott for making this. This is awesome. So maybe I don't know, maybe at some point I'll try to connect on Twitter or something and thank him for real. But this is very useful. All right, so we should be finished here with our packages. Got a warning. All right, should be okay. And now let's run yarn start. See what happens. Project is running at localhost 8080. All right, let's check it out. Hey, here it is. We're running locally, so you can see like very similar to this. Not exactly sure why it doesn't have this at the top, but not a big deal. Still works. Let's verify that it works. So, yep, you can see I'm changing code over here, and it's working. Great. So now we have a working copy that we can mess with, and I believe what I want to check out, I suppose, is the Webpack stuff, just to make sure that there's nothing really special going on in Webpack that would affect this. So I don't think so, because obviously, like in the browser, Webpack is not running, right? So kind of could see what's happening. There's not a whole lot of output. So I know I said I didn't want to go into the Webpack stuff, but I'm going to just check it out a little bit. I'm no Webpack expert, but I just want to see if there's anything going on here that seems like, whoa, this is very different. Okay. prod config is probably what we want. All right, that doesn't look like anything that's very different. So I think we're good. Webpack embed. All right, I think we're good. Like I said, I'm not a Webpack expert. I may have missed something, but I think we're good with this. So let's start up a new project and try to pull over some of this stuff and see exactly what we need. Once we get it down to like this is the core of what we need, then we'll see. I don't know that we'll have enough time today to actually start to get it into the free code camp stuff. So probably not going to do that today. We'll leave that for a different stream. Now, I'm going to go back to this. I'm just basically using this as a terminal right now since we're not working on this project. So I'm going to go back out to the projects folder, and we're going to use create react app. And I believe we can do I'm just trying to think what to name it. It's always hard. So let's name this React Native Browser Editor. Just want to make sure that's not this project's name. Okay, React Native Web Player. Alright, so this is React Native Browser Editor. So this is create React app is just a tool that starts a working React app for you locally. Right, so really nice. You don't have to do a lot of setup yourself. Also, if you've never seen this npx command, it comes prepackaged with npm node package manager, and basically like it lets you run. So let me say, before npx, what I would have had to have done is installed create react app, the command line utility for create react app, and probably globally I would have to install that, and then I'd run npm create react app, or maybe it's npm. Yeah, anyway, I'd have to run create react app like that with installing it. npx lets me run it as if I had it installed, right? And then just use it, which is really nice. It saves a step. It saves you from doing an installation. So I don't remember exactly when that came out, but super useful. All right, so now we have a new directory called React Native Browser Editor, and this has a working React app inside of it now. So let's go into React Native Browser Editor, and we're going to open up that code in a new window. All right, and let's open up a terminal here, and let's do yarn start. This should run on localhost 3000 by default, and this is our app when it loads. See, so we have a working app. Yay! All right, so now we're running both of these locally. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Running both of these locally. And man, I really need to make a dark mode for this because the flash of light is like killing me. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe the next stream will be let's make a dark mode for this project and submit a PR. If even if it doesn't get accepted, at least we can have it on our fork. Yeah. Hey, baby. Come here. You want to come up
There
here?
was a house photo, and that's what my mama was driving.
Yeah.
And he got in my
Do you want to say?
stroller.
Hey, I'm the one to show. You want to say hi to everybody on YouTube? See? Look. You want to say hi? Come here.
Hi.
Look right there at the camera. Say hi.
Hi.
There we go. All right. That was Cordelia. She's almost 3. All right. So now is the fun part. So we get this project now. I think probably the first thing we should do is figure out what packages we need to bring over, because none of the code we pull over will work unless we have the packages that we need here. So we're going to compare package JSON files. It's this make file. Get check out. Interesting. Oh, player bundle. Did I look at this yet? Because that seems... I do not know what that is. But it seems odd, and so maybe it's important for this project. Alright, but anyway, let's check this out. So we're not going to need like all this Webpack config stuff because Create React App handles all the Webpack stuff for us. So hopefully we don't need any of this custom Webpack stuff. So really what we want to look for are these dependencies, right? So the easiest way for us to do this kind of in bulk is just to copy and paste. So I say we just copy and paste everything first, and then I'll get rid of what we don't need. And that'll save us from going back and forth too much. Alright, so our dependencies are here. So I'm going to put a comma here, and I'm going to leave one space just so we know where we left off at. So we can see what stuff is used twice. Now I'm going to take a chance here and go with the newer React versions and hope that it doesn't cause any issues. Alright, that may be a bad decision, but you know, this is a test, so this is the time to try out new stuff anyway. And it looks like all this other stuff is new stuff that we don't have. Now I'm going to go through and just see, like, is there anything here that we probably don't need? So any Webpack stuff we definitely don't need. Okay, I probably think we don't need the style loader stuff or the worker loader stuff, but we may have. I'm going to keep it in for now. JS, screen for regenerate runtime. React Native Web. Okay, we need that. Inspector, decorator, prop types, inline style prefixer. Plugin standard. Alright, we get these ESLint config things, which probably don't need. I guess I'll leave them in for now. It's not going to hurt to leave them in. Code mirror. I'll leave that in. Some of this stuff I'm just going to leave in for now because I think it'll probably cause errors. But once we start moving the files over and we see like what we're actually going to use, we can remove these. Babel. We do need all this Babel stuff. Okay. So now let's save that, and then if we run yarn again, it'll grab all these packages and install them. Alright, So there's always, it seems like there's I don't want to say always, but there's often a lot of these warnings and things. So don't freak out if you see these, right? Warnings are okay. I mean, if you have time, maybe go through them and see, like, maybe I should update this, right? Um, but most of the time, your project will still run, right, with the warnings. Like, errors obviously are gonna mess things up, but warnings not so much. All right, so we got all this stuff installed. Now, nothing would have changed with our app, right? So I'm not even going to go back over to our app to make sure it's still working because we just brought in these packages. We're not doing anything yet with them. We haven't changed any code. So let's bring over some of the Babel stuff now, because that also shouldn't cause any errors. I don't think so. But it's definitely going to be necessary. So we're going to grab this Babel Worker bundle. I'm not going to grab that. I just wanted to see what it was. So we definitely need this Babel Worker, but there should be a Babel RC. Yeah. It's interesting. I really thought the Babel RC would have been like a lot more complicated, but I guess not. I think a lot of the stuff's going on client side, so maybe it's different. But all right, so we're gonna need a Babel Worker and a Babel RC, which I don't know if we already have a Babel RC in this project or not. I guess not. But we can do so. You're in the editor. You could obviously go here and click New File if you want, or we could do it inside of the command line, which I think can be faster, especially if you're doing multiple files. If it's just one file, it's probably not that much faster, but we'll see in a second. So we could just do touch, and let's say Babel or is it .rc? Nah. It's only faster if you know what files you're going to create. .babel RC, that was it. And then Babel Worker JS. Alright, so you see those two files were automatically created. And now we can copy and paste what we need. Clicking the wrong stuff. Where are we at? Oh, Michael Creel says, or you can copy and paste between the VS Code windows. Yes. Good one. I think I said there's 2 ways we could do it. There's actually more than 2 ways. Alright, so we got that one in now. And now let's get this other one in. Worker. Alright, now are we importing plugins, utilities? Yeah, so we may start to get to a point where we start to see errors and stuff because we are importing things that we don't have over here yet. So I think stuff will still work now because we're not, like, the entry point for this app is not calling any of this stuff yet, but at some point the app's going to break, most likely, and then hopefully we'll get it to work again. All right, and I probably have about 15 minutes left, so if anybody does have any questions, let me know. I'll try to get them in, but in about 15 minutes I'm going to have to finish up and get ready for work. All right, so let's import this, right? So we know we need this. So number one, like, we know we need this file, and we know we need anything that this file requires. So let's go to the plugins folder, or I'm sorry, the utils and Babel plugins. All right, so we're gonna need a utils folder. Let's see how this project is there. Yeah, so utils folder, and this project is a little different than the other one. So just in terms of the way it's structured. So we actually have a source. So I'm gonna put. I hate to mess up too much of what the imports are, but I think I would rather put this in. I would definitely rather put this in the source folder. So let's see. Let's get it in the source folder. Utils. Yep. And move it into utils. Yep. Let's move that. All right. Now we do need to change this, right? Because now it's in source. Oops. Okay, so slightly different path. Hopefully this is not referenced in a lot of places. We won't have to change it in too many places. But let's check out this Pebble plugin.js. All right, I knew there was a file where there were just a ton of things. So yeah, here's all the stuff that's happening. Okay. Oops, I should have saw what the should have checked out what their import is. Plugin map. Okay, that's fine. We should already have that in our package JSON. So there's no more imports, so we should be good. Same thing here. No more imports. Obviously no imports from the Babel RC. Okay. So that it seems like it's all the Babel stuff that we need right now. Let's go back here and check out our. Shouldn't be anything here. So in their index.js, they're pulling in some stuff. Let's see, screen full workspace. That's their workspace component is where everything is kind of going down. Okay, this is a default. I see the default code. It's showing up there. All right, so we probably will need a lot of this stuff. So I guess we can really break things right now if we copy and paste all this. But I think maybe this is the way to go. So let's copy and paste all of this. It's definitely going to break things, but we're expecting that. We're going to go to our index.js. Okay, so you can see right now this is how it's going. We're changing that up. So first thing we need to do to unbreak this is make sure that all the imports are actually there. So I believe we still have screenful in our package JSON, and we obviously have React and React DOM. Okay, so we do have, we're requiring these styles. Styles obviously aren't like 100% necessary. We'll keep them in, but we definitely need to make sure that we pull that over. The all the routes should work, right? Because our index file is in our source file, so it's like in the same root here. You could probably keep the default code constant. I'm not super worried about this append CSS. Like I said, I'm not worried about the prefixes. I'm sorry, the prefixes I'm not worried about. We might need the append CSS from util styles. Yeah. Um, so if we can get rid of the prefix stuff going on, I'd be all right with that. I mean, the idea here is like try to simplify this down to like the just what's necessary. It'll make it easier for us to reason about what's going on in the code. And then really like the idea here is not to build out any type of UI. Like we want to I don't want to like we want to be left with basically something that you could just put code in, React Native code in, and get web friendly code out. And then once we get that web friendly code out, we can decide how to display it. But I want it to be kind of like unopinionated about any of that, any display things, right? So essentially, like you could use any editor, any in-browser editor you wanted, as long as you're sending the data in the correct format, and then you'll get back code that you can do whatever you want with. Hopefully that makes sense. Which is, I mean, that's basically what the original project is doing that we forked, but it's using like its own editor, and it's applying styles. So we kind of just want to strip that stuff out. And I want to make sure that I can get it to run like in a different Webpack setup and everything as well. All right, so let's find where this prefix stuff is. Okay, style prefix. Interesting. Okay, so I guess this work. I've never used this before, but this is interesting. I guess you just pass it your styles, and then it gives you prefix styles. So your styles are now prefix. So that's cool. So actually, it shouldn't be too hard to get rid of this because we still want our style stuff. We just don't need that. So now we can get rid of prefix, and let's just figure out where this one is. Prefix and apply, display flex, mount set, mount node to flex in a vendor prefixed way. Alright, so we can do this in a different way. Let's just comment this out for now. So basically, this is setting display flex to this element that has the ID React root. There's a couple other ways we can actually get display flex on there without using the prefix and apply. Right, for mount. So I don't want to mess with it right now because we're just stripping stuff out right now. So I don't want to like add any code right now. So that's why I'm just going to comment this out. This can stay because it's not going to affect anything to just make a constant. But what this will let me do now is completely get rid of that. Hey, Ambrose.
Found you again.
Yeah. Ambrose is back.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael says don't delete them. Just comment out until you're sure. All right. Yeah, that's probably a smarter way to do it. I guess I will do a mix of that. Some stuff I'm like almost positive I can fully delete, so I'm okay with that. Also, we still have the original available. All right, and like ideally the styles are going to be totally gone anyway, so I'm only leaving them in now because I'm afraid that like when we actually get this running, we won't see anything on the screen. Hey, don't mess with that. All right. What you doing? You silly, yeah? I'm almost done. Couple more minutes and I'll come up and see you, okay?
Okay.
Alright.
We cut up the cantaloupe.
Ooh. Alright. Okay. Is this component grayed out in React? Like, are we not using this? It's true, we do not need this. I accidentally leave that stuff in all the time on my projects as well. It's easy to miss that. Okay. So let's start filling in some of these. So we need components, workspace, and then workspace. So we want to keep a lot of the like file structure as well. That way we don't need to change the way the imports are. So yeah, was it components? Yeah, components, workspace. We might be able to bring over all of the component stuff. I think, do we have a components folder already? No, we don't have anything. Okay. Let's just bring over all the component stuff and then delete out what we need. Because I believe we'll need... I suspect Workspace will also use some other components, so we'll just grab this stuff in anticipation that we will need it anyway. So I'm going to copy this and paste it over here in our source folder. Alright, cool. So now we have our components. Probably we do need, at least at this point, like we will need all of this stuff to get it, just to get it to the point where we can say, hey, this works. All right, cool. So we have that. Now we also need our constants and our utils. Kind of seems like I'm just copying over the whole project, which, you know, why copy the whole project? We already have some of the utils, so we don't need to bring the whole folder over. We just need to grab the utils that we need. But this is actually, like, it's important because the whole Webpack setup and everything is plugins is totally different. Alright, we don't need this prefix stuff, so... And then we are going to kind of gradually cut out what we don't need as well. So hopefully we won't have as much as we kind of go along here. Alright, now we have a ton of stuff here, so the amount of dependencies that we need to keep track of has grown, like, by a large amount. Whoa, and we got errors. Using the export keyword between a decorator and a class is not allowed. Please use lots of stuff. Wow. What is it in workspace.js? Alright, so we haven't even looked at workspace.js yet, so... Oh, you snapping?
I went the other way.
Oh. Alright, so... I'm just going to save this. Obviously, I guess we totally broke it, as expected. So next time we stream, we're probably going to be working on this again. And we'll actually try to make it work now that we broke it. Alright, so anyway, thanks for watching. And hopefully... I don't know if I'll get to stream next week or not. So I'm going to be at the Abstractions Conference in Pittsburgh Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'm speaking on Thursday and Friday. If anybody's going, let me know. Love to meet up and say hi. Uh, and I don't know if it's still. I don't think it's too late to get a ticket if you do want to go. So check it out. Abstractions.io is the conference website. There's going to be a ton of good speakers there. So it's if you're in the Pittsburgh area, I would definitely check it out. All right. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for your advice. And yeah, until next time, have a great day.
Bye.